Hey everybody, it's Josh with Corner of the Galaxy here, along with Eric the Portuguese Hammer, coming to you from the preseason game. LA Galaxy lose 2-1 to Toronto FC in a weird game that saw a red card.
A penalty
kick, right?
And Chicharito. We saw it all.
We did see it all. It was interesting for a preseason game for sure. You always try to take stuff from this, and I think Guillermo talked in the press conference about how it's tough to take something out of, 11 versus 10. It's tough to take those types of things, but at the same time, he also commented and said, the Galaxy were better whenever they played down a man than they were whenever it was 11v11.
They responded well. You see this happen quite a bit when a team goes down a man. There's that initial jolt of energy that a team gets, and you definitely saw that today after Katai got his red card, which was questionable at best, I think. And then also, in a preseason game, the whole purpose is to get the players out there, let a flow going. But the one positive is you got to see how the Galaxy react to a red card being down a man. Pavone essentially took on the entire Toronto defense by himself, scored a beautiful goal, and showed that hunger and that that talent that we saw flashes of last season, and we're going to hope to see for the rest of this season.
Yeah, I mean, the big star takeaway here is that Christian Pavone, is an MVP candidate if he continues in preseason form. We always talk about overreacting to preseason,
and that's almost the unfortunate thing about that goal. That goal was too pretty to be just for a preseason.
Just a goal of the year, and it's in the preseason, right? That's how it works. But no, Pavone was outstanding. Even with, I think, a little bit of lack of chemistry with Chicharito. You could see it here and there. Obviously, missing Katai was a big deal as well, just in that front three attack. So you got that. But, Chicharito, his debut, he goes 70-plus minutes.
And speaking of Pavone taking on a defense by himself, one thing that you saw with Chicharito tonight was him creating something out of nothing. You could tell, you saw that hunger, you saw that desire, those non-measurables that aren't going to show up on the stat sheet. But you saw that he wants it. He wants to get his teammates involved. He wants to get on the score sheet. You could tell there were maybe some opportunities where he could have passed it, but he wanted to shoot because he wants that goal. And that's what you want. That's what you want your number 9, your goal scorer, to do. Is to try to score goals, and he definitely was trying to do that tonight.
By the way, listed on the preseason roster as number 9 and then crossed out with a number 14.
They need to update those sheets.
It's preseason.
That guy's gone.
It's preseason.
Preseason for everybody.
That's how it works. But no, I mean, you saw that. I think the other big takeaway that you have to look at is the defense. Missing Steres, missing Felcher, both not 100%. Steres possibly back at the beginning of next week. Felcher possibly the middle of next week, as Guillermo was telling us in the press conference afterwards. That's not good. And Insua missing. So you're missing 3 probable starters,
And also with Chicharito, with issues with his visa, him not training with the team until midweek, you saw a little bit of that lack of chemistry. So you may see a little bit of that with Rolf and Steres as well, and Insua. But when we talk about Nick DePuy and Julian Araujo, I mean, those are 2 young players who looked like they did not look out of place. They looked like MLS starting defenders, and that's a huge positive to glean from tonight.
Yeah, Nick DePuy, by the way. DePuy is how you say it.
Yeah,
We've been told.
I stumbled all over it, but it's all right.
It's okay.
To right the ship.
Nick DePuy, it was outstanding. Marked Josie Altidore for most of the game. DePuy went 90 minutes. 6'5", made Josie Altidore look like a normal human being, which he's not.
Well, and it's not only that, his height being helpful in the aerial duels, but it's also on his tackles. On the ground, he made some great tackles, dispossessing some of the attackers from Toronto. So I loved what I saw from Nick today.
Yeah, and Julian Araujo as well. A solid player. If you ask me who the best player of the first half, you could certainly say Christian Pavone for his goal. Really, for me, it's probably Nick DePuy. And then David Bingham behind that as well. David Bingham behind that was huge. Had a bunch of stops, did a bunch of things. So
he did his job. He did what he was supposed to do. He, when Toronto got inside the box and tried to make things happen, Bingham was up to the task. There was a bit of a mental lapse with the defense at the end of the first half, and then a penalty.
A questionable penalty.
You're never going to give the goalkeeper the benefit of the doubt on a penalty. So, if you really count 1 goal in the run of play allowed by Bingham, not too bad.
Yeah, so I think as a whole, a lot of positives even from a loss. Again, playing down a man, Galaxy still played down a man. Chicharito super positive, although he seems like he's going to be super positive about everything.
What. Rainbows and butterflies, I think is what we call that.
Hey, you know what? That's okay sometimes. That's okay. Sort of a good performance from the Galaxy. It's disappointing not to see Katai, and that was probably the biggest sort of disappointment you can take from it. I would say that the midfield also missing Jonathan Dos Santos is obvious and evident. I thought Sasha Kleshin had sort of a mixed bag in there filling in. I don't expect him to be Jonathan Dos Santos. I don't expect anybody to be Jonathan Dos Santos except for Jonathan.
Exactly. And then the same with Joe Corona was also, had his pluses and minuses. Legit, something that I did see from him is being more attacking, being more straightforward, moving the ball. So I think that's something where maybe he was looking to distribute the ball more last season. You saw that want to attack more this season. So we hope to see more of that from Leggett because they're going to need it. in the offense.
Absolutely. All right, so final score here from preseason. LA Galaxy 1, Toronto FC 2. Christian Pavone with a world-beating goal in there, so that's going to be the positive from that. And the LA Galaxy back here in a week when they take on the Chicago Fire. Little reminder, our live show kicks off on Saturday we were saying 2 p.m. We're now going to say 1:45.
With scheduling with the doubleheader, there's certain adjustments that need to be made, so you don't get the cleanness of a
22
at 2. But for all intents and purposes, we'll say so. But around 2, we'll be on the stage, which is exciting.
Yeah, that seems to be the place. And if any of that changes, we'll let you know. Check out the website, cornerofthegalaxy.com, for all that. All right. Again, LA Galaxy losers in their first public preseason game brings them to 2 wins and 1 loss. Just the 2 goals allowed, again, a penalty kick and a little slip up towards the end of the first half. But mostly positives, I think, from Dignity Health Sports Park as they're transitioning for the LA Wildcats behind us. So a lot of fun from Dignity Health Sports Park for Mr. Eric, the Portuguese Hammer Vieira. I'm Josh Guesman, and you've been watching this time Corner of the Galaxy.